Dawson Rider Review.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Time for my review for Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger episode 42, my first weekly review in a while. As I said, I'm going to try to cover it pretty much weekly through the finale, leading into weekly Kira Major reviews. The only exception might be if there's a two-parter, but this really wasn't a two-parter. Willy Wonka was also not involved. This was basically Wyzul's end episode for now. So it was kind of a weird episode because I really wasn't a huge fan of the first half. The first half was kind of like generic dumb filler that I disliked. Like, we started the episode, for whatever reason, Ui's going off to do something about her videos, and we had to bring that up for some reason. Her dad, whose name I never bothered to learn, is like making some sort of soda or something. I don't... Why? The rest of the episode is about Wyzul. The Rangers hear about something that's happening, and then they go to like wherever the fight's gonna be, and they see Wyzul, and he's like, oh, it's time for my show or whatever. And then they basically go into Wyzul's show, and he's forcing, I believe was it Melt and Toa to do dances and stuff. And so that kind of sets up the episode where some of the Rangers are forced to act in his play. So you have Kanalo and Pink, who, why am I forgetting her name at this moment? Doesn't matter. But they're forced to sort of participate in a Romeo and Juliet play he's doing, while Bamba and Ko try to figure out how to stop him because, like, the play is forcing them to physically do what the play entails, meaning, like, you know, if they drink poison, that's what's gonna happen. And they eventually find Kreon, and he messes up because Wyzul's like, you need to write the play so it ends faster so we can take these Rangers out. But he can't do it because the Minosaur is preoccupied, so he just rips the script. And it's like this weird combination where it seemed like Kanalo actually outsmarted it, but it was actually because Kreon ripped the script when it just said, Romeo drinks, but it doesn't say he drinks poison. So it all kind of, you know, falls apart, the main plan at least. And then, you know, the other Rangers go off to battle in the Megazord, while the meat of the episode happens, which is Ko and... I almost said Kreon's, Ko and Wyzul's final battle, which takes place on a stage, and you know, there's that classic interaction of the villain saying, everything sucks, and then the Toku hero's like, hope and friendship, and so like that happens, and he goes Max Ryusoul Red, and he defeats him, and then he's standing over him to potentially finish him off, and Kreon's like, no! He doesn't say it like that, it's more dramatic. And then Ko basically lets it go. I'm a poet and I didn't even know I rhymed those words. Second, I was like, oh, you're really gonna spare him? Like, I get it, you kind of owe Kreon one, and we know Kreon's gonna survive because since the beginning of the series, he's basically been a character you know is not gonna be a full-on villain that doesn't get redeemed or whatever. Like, he's gonna be one of the surviving villains. But I'm like, this is dumb. This is not a heroic, good, smart move. You're letting an actual threat to the world go, and because of Kreon. But I guess he just knew that his injuries were too severe, maybe. But he lets him go in that moment, and then later, like, Kreon and Wyzul have, like, a moment, and he's like, oh, it's my exit stage, and he, like, disappears. So, it appears for now that he's defeated. I hope he's done. I don't like Wyzul. I don't know if I've ever made that clear. I don't. But I could totally see him coming back because he was one of the more light villains. And so I could see it either in the finale, like, they let Kreon go, and he's like, oh, I start a new life, and Wyzul's like, aha, I was just a big dramatic curtain call this whole time. I've actually been alive. Or he shows up even in a few episodes. So he's one of those villains that, even though he's been killed, I can totally see him coming back. Which is unfortunate because, like I said, I just don't like Wyzul. Like, I'll probably talk more about this in the series review, but the fact that he and Kreon have essentially been the primary villains for most of the series just makes the villains not feel like a threat whatsoever. And so, even when he had his moments where he was kind of amusing, I've always had a disdain for him because of that. So, like, I'm really glad to see him go, and I hope he doesn't come back because I don't like the character. Like, when Ko was standing over him and Kreon's like, no, I was like, full-on Palpatine over here. I was like, do it! So for now, good riddance. It was, though, I'll say, a fitting ending for his character. Like I said, I wasn't a fan of the first half. At first, I was thinking, like, oh, man, we're in the 40s. We have, like, what, 6 episodes left, and we're doing a dumb filler, and I always hate that. I have a general distaste for when we're in the end game and we do a dumb filler, but it ended up being kind of an important episode because it was Wyzul's curtain call for now. But anyway, like, the final battle with Ko and Wyzul and the stage felt fitting, like a fitting end for his character, if it's the end of his character or whatever. Like, even though I'm not a fan of it, it made sense, and I did like that it was more of a fitting stage, no pun intended, for his character than, you know, what would have been just a regular battle where he gets blown up or something. And like I did kind of like the moment when they clashed and Wyzul has like a hallucination of him actually defeating Ko and like having an audience praise him. So like objectively, I think that was good for his character in terms of an ending. I just don't like the character, so I'm glad to see him go, and I don't want him to come back, but we'll have to see. But overall, it was an okay-ish episode for what it was. I would give it like a 6.5. I personally wasn't that big of a fan of it, but it had some fitting elements. Next week looks like it's going to be really good, though, with some Master Black stuff, so we'll have to see. But what did you guys think? Did you like Wyzul? You know, are you glad to see him go? Do you want to see him back? How would you have liked to see him used in the series? I'm going to have a lot of thoughts on that in the series review. Probably like a rant. I can like, be prepared for it. But anyway, that's about it for this one, guys. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for all my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.